Hey there guys, I'm SonicGhost and welcome back to some Splatoon 3. Been a little while here since the last video was put out here on the LPerLeague. Funny enough, one of the last videos was of myself only playing some Splatoon 3. And it was from a Sheldon randomizer challenge. Guess what we got back today? It's another Sheldon randomizer challenge of some sorts. Today, we have the Sheldon Gear Ability Shuffle Challenge. So I figured to catch everybody up on some behind the scenes things and honestly just to kind of record a video here for the LPerLeague. I'm going to be playing through this Gear Ability Shuffle Challenge, but let's go ahead and look at the rules and see what this challenge is all about. So the Sheldon's Gear Ability Shuffle Challenge. Make the most of a random assortment of Sheldon's weapons and gear abilities in this test of adaptability. You'll be assigned gear abilities and a weapon at the start of a battle. One gear ability you receive will be set to maximum power. 3 secondary gear abilities will also be assigned regardless of the available slots on your gear. And once the battle ends, your gear's previous abilities will be restored. So, essentially here we get a random weapon, and whatever clothes we're wearing, it doesn't matter what they have ability-wise. So if I go into my gear set now, you see that my squid band here has an assortment of different things on it, and its main ability is comeback. I got a shirt here that doesn't have a full set of abilities yet, but it has quick super jump as its main. And cream high tops here, they have stealth jump and a bunch of different things as its sub abilities. So all of that we're not using. We're just kind of getting whatever the game tells us. And same for the weapon. I have the Nautilus 79 selected, but that doesn't mean we get to use it. So let's just jump in. I'll be playing 5 games here, see where my said challenge power is going to stack up. And if you've seen any of my challenge videos over on my main YouTube channel, you know the format for something like this. I play 5 games, I get an idea of our power by the end, then I get to play more of this after the fact and see if I get that score any higher before the rotation itself changes over. But today, I'm playing through this Sheldon Gear Ability Shuffle Challenge right after recording my own video on this said challenge. And if you want to see that video, I'll link to it in the description of this one. It'll also be featured in the end card at the very end. So you can check out my Sheldon Gear Ability Shuffle video if you want to know more about this challenge and see my first impressions over it. But going right in, we got ourselves the Squeezer with a bunch of run speed. A pretty interesting build here. And this is feeling really good to have, actually, on a Squeezer. So I'm happy with this build. This is one of the strongest weapons right now in Splatoon 3. I am perfectly fine playing with this weapon, even though I don't play Squeezer all too much, but I'll work with it here. So the mode we're playing here is Splat Zones. So the goal here is trying to get the zone in control for as long as possible, get as many points on the board as possible here. And if we can get it down to 0, then we instantly win the game. And that's the goal. So we're going to do our best here to do that. Keep in mind, you're going to have one ability for your entire setup. So we have a pure of whatever the game gives us, and every single slot is essentially just that one ability. So I am nothing but run speed here. I'm going to be the fastest walking person you have ever seen because of all this run speed. And all my teammates have very different abilities too, but kind of the same concept there. Everyone just gets a max of one thing, and it's a lot, but that's what makes this challenge unique. The other Sheldon randomizer style challenges, the first one being the sampler challenge, that just gave you a random weapon, so you got to play with a bunch of different weapons that you may or may not have ever used, even at that point have bought in the game because they were all loaned out to you. So that one was an interesting challenge, and then there was the Dress Up Showdown, which had the same idea as the Sampler Challenge, but you not only got random weapons, but you also got random gear. Specifically, it was amiibo gear, so you would have a random assortment of different clothes, but they all had predetermined abilities at that point. Everything you got, if you knew what the abilities were on that set of amiibo gear, then you knew what you were going to get ahead of time, so that was one that was somewhat predictable because there was only so many pieces of gear you could have got out of that challenge. This one, you're getting one of the main abilities in the game, nothing that's exclusive to a very specific piece of gear, so nothing like Ninja Squid, Stealth Jump, come back, stuff like that. Nothing that's exclusive to the headgear, shirts, or shoes. You're getting things that can be put on everything. And it's a pure set of all of it, so it could be very interesting to see what kind of stuff we can get. What kind of things are going to make us super powerful or just super fast in general. These games can kind of go all over the place because of that. Plus you get a random weapon, so you're going to be playing with a bunch of different things you may or may not have really used. I'm not exactly sure if this pulls to me at your weapon list or not, because this challenge doesn't mention anything about lending you weapons, unlike the other two Sheldon challenges. So you may have to actually own the weapons that you want to use for this challenge by comparison. Can't exactly say because I own all the weapons here in Splatoon 3, so I don't exactly know if this is pulling from your set or if it's just some lone weapons. I don't know. But that's the first game done. Very good game, and honestly, got warming up to the squeezer halfway through because I always need a few games to warm up with this specific weapon since it has 2 different firing modes. So it takes a little time for me to get used to playing with a squeezer, but not a bad first game. Got a knockout right in the beginning, so that's cool. So yeah, first game done. Move on to our next one. As you can see, all my ability is run speed, but as soon as we get our gear abilities leveled up, now you see we're back to what we had before. So it's not permanent, thankfully. All those abilities you only keep for that specific game, so that's pretty nice that it's not a permanent thing. Imagine building out all this cool gear and then all of a sudden, oops, all run speed. Sorry, buddy. Work on that gear again. At that point, I'd be using dummy gear for this and not all my actual gear that I want to use normally, because that would suck. I don't have to remake all my stuff because of a weird bug. That'd be terrible. But yeah, no, it's been a little while since the last video went up here on the LPerLeague. Basically, beginning of the year. It's been that long. But this year has kind of been a weird one, honestly. Like, we've said in the past, we don't really want to have this channel go through any major dry spells to a point where people can say, is the LPerLeague dead? Question mark? Like, we don't want any of that. Ooh, a bunch of main save on an end zap? Alright, I can work with it. Not normally what I play, but I can work with this. But, now going back to the video thing. Yeah, it's been a while, but this year has been kind of a weirder one for a lot of us. Like, I can't vouch for everyone in the group, but I can say personally myself, 2024 has not been a great year. It's been through a lot of, like, ups and downs here for me. More downs than ups, and that has definitely taken away a lot more of my attention, but for me, also, I've been mainly focusing on my main channel content, and I've been trying to get ahead there, building up a big buffer so that I can focus on other things too. And at the time of recording this, I am actively working on editing up new projects here for this said channel, and not just things for us to record, for things that you all can watch at home, because we have projects actually recorded up enough so we can start posting things. It's just a matter of now getting those specific videos edited together and getting them up on the channel, which stuff like that takes a while. As someone who has made a lot of different videos here for the League over the years, editing League videos are definitely a different beast compared to just editing your own stuff as like a solo content creator, for example, because there's a lot more layers to it, a lot more audio tracks, a lot more cuts that need to be made in some areas, and definitely also if there's any extra references you put in after the fact, there's also that extra amount you have to work with as well. So these videos usually take a lot longer to put together, and we usually try to get them done before posting the first video, try to get the entire series put together. That way there's no dry spell. That's how I personally like handling all my content. Try to get everything done before posting the first video in a series, so at that point there shouldn't be any breaks unless something out of your control happens, which at that stage you're prepared enough that you hopefully don't have to worry about that. And that's the same mindset I have here on this channel. A lot of us have a very similar mindset. Get everything done before posting the first video in a series, so that way things can just be constantly uploaded. And working on that now for a series that should hopefully be coming out here within the next few weeks. Also trying to, in general, all of us were getting together, recording more often. The first half of the year we were kind of taking a break from recording stuff on the league, if you want to be honest, because we were all having different schedules at this point. It was much harder for a lot of us to meet up. But getting into the second half of the year, things started to wind down a little bit with our schedules, and we're starting to meet up more regularly once again to record stuff, which is definitely helping getting us back into a recording groove and putting us all back on a schedule for weekly meetings. So that's definitely helping quite a lot, and that's why I'm excited to start sharing some stuff soon enough, especially given how there's plenty of ideas we're talking about behind the scenes that we want to play this game, or maybe there's this specific project we had in the works for a while. Okay, well, let's start getting on that now. Let's start working on recording those specific videos. Like, there's a lot behind the scenes talks about things we want to do, and all that's starting to come to a head now, which is very, very nice. And the other thing I want to mention is those multiplayer videos you saw in the beginning of the year, right after I posted my own video talking about this stuff with the solo Splatoon playthrough of mine. We had a few more Mario Kart videos come out, and then we just basically stopped with that. Not to say that we're done with multiplayer stuff, but that's all we had recorded up to that point. So after the last Mario Kart video came out, that's all we really had, and we haven't really met up since to do multiplayer stuff. It's been a while. And we're getting all these main save builds, and on a carbon roller of all things? I don't know if I need that much main save, but again, we could work with this. This is pretty good. I'm getting all the weapons I like, so I'm fine with it. But yeah, we're gonna probably end up doing multiplayer stuff again at some point. But right now, it's just kind of been a little bit slow on that front, and that has been kind of a point of contention for that reason. Like, we want to do more multiplayer, but at the same time, it all depends on people's schedules, and right now we're more focused on trying to get playthroughs recorded for the channel, things that can last a lot longer and have a little more substance compared to the multiplayer stuff. So that's where mainly the focus has been for that reason right now too. So that's been usually what we've been using for some supplementary stuff, but there are some other games that are coming out soon enough in the multiplayer scene that, you know, interest a lot of us, and maybe we'll cover that in the future on the channel. So not to say multiplayer stuff is definitely out of the question. I mean, I asked even last time when I made one of these videos that if you have any suggestions for multiplayer games for us to record here on the League, definitely let us know. You know, give us a comment here on this video or any of those multiplayer videos we play. Hearing about certain things that we can check out. Always appreciate just hearing some of that kind of stuff and getting ideas back from the audience of what you guys want to see. But yeah, that's basically the gist of what's been happening here. I would say the first half of 2024 has been our slower time for the LPerLeague as we're all focusing on our own things. I mean, heck, in the middle of this year, one of us actually moved. Sax226 was working on moving to a new location earlier this year, so he has been very busy even with his own channel. Has been basically on a little bit on the slower side as well, as he's worked on trying to get himself situated in a brand new place. So there's a lot of things happening behind the scenes for a lot of us here, and don't even get me started on my own hardware problems, man. It's like this year for me has been the hardware failure. 2024 has been replacement year, so that has also kind of taken up a lot of my time trying to get things fixed up, back up working. Also buying a whole bunch of stuff to fix the things that break, because great. I love 2024. It's been great. Sarcasm included. Get away, that's going to be really bad. But yeah, that's, like I said, pretty much the gist of it. For our sake, we're getting back to recording stuff. It's been a lot of fun to meet back up and record a whole bunch of different things after taking a break for a couple months worth. But I hope you guys are gonna enjoy all the new stuff that we have planned coming out. There are some series that, sure, we're gonna be covering that we've covered before, some newer stuff that we haven't taken a look at, and even some games that, well, if you've seen some of the stuff I've been posting on my main YouTube channel these past few months, then you'll see that even my own channel, I've started to cover some newer styled content, not just playing official release games. I've been playing randomizers, ROM hacks, stuff like that. And maybe some of that kind of content could make its way here on the League at some point, since I'm the big one for playing fan projects in the group. I mean, I can't vouch for everyone on that front, but I grew up playing a lot of fan projects, ROM hacks, mods of games, stuff like that. So my teenage years were filled with playing a lot of unofficial releases of games, and there's a lot of games that I would love to show off in that kind of category here for this channel as well. So maybe some of that kind of stuff will also make its way onto the LPerLeague as well in the future. Because I've covered ROM hacks on my channel this year, which has been a pretty big change, and a lot of people have been really enjoying that one. I've noticed from my audience, the Ocarina of Time ROM hacks and the Mario 64 ones, I should say, excuse me, I think they have been doing really well in terms of views, but also the reception as well. People seem to really enjoy watching these games based on what I see in the comments, and I do appreciate when people leave comments like that. It leaves a nice, warm feeling in the heart to know that people are enjoying what they're watching. But, yeah, maybe some of that kind of stuff can make its way over here, too. You're noticing on a point, I'm starting to ramble, because we still have 2 more games, and I'm definitely filling air. That's the only problem when you play these Splatoon challenges and you make a video over them, because they're at least half an hour long. They're long challenges, man. There's only so much I can do here. Okay, good. I have another thing on my Gray Vector Tee. I only need 1 more ability, and that next thing is going to be a Special Saver. I've been working on trying to get this shirt built up. It's one of my last pieces of gear I need to fully complete another set that I really wanted to have for specific weapon loadouts. So at this point, I just need 1 more thing on the said shirt. Probably going to change out my drink soon, but I can play out 2 more games with this drink. It's not going to really change anything. Also, this is honestly, it's half of a update video I wanted to make on the channel while we get to show off new content here with this Gear Ability Shuffle Challenge. Because I think this challenge in Splatoon, low-key one of my favorite ones, but I've always enjoyed these Sheldon randomizer challenges. They're some of my favorite in the game, but that's a personal bias as someone who likes a lot of randomized content. So there is that as well, but also low-key I kind of wanted an excuse to try out a different audio setup here. So this video is half me wanting to put out a new video on the LPerLeague, and the other half is for me to test this other microphone that I had lying around. You gotta have some good reasons to use this. Oh, come on. The one time I wanted all the main saver, and I get the sub-saver on a point sensor weapon? You kidding me, right? It's useless. I'm barely gonna use point sensor. Well, I guess now I'll just chuck them everywhere because I have all the point sensor I can use. Even though I would rather have main, because main save on Explosher would be really nice right now. Just gonna have to throw my special to immediately get myself some of my ink back, because again, I kinda would rather have main save, because this Explosher takes a lot of ink. Alright, pushing that guy back, we're doing pretty good here, take the lead, that's great. That one seems to be stuck over in their base area. Might as well throw one of my many point sensors that I got access to, because what else am I going to do with these, huh? Yeah, this is not a bad setup. Hopefully everything sounds good. I'll know in post, so I'll have the answer by the time you guys see this video, obviously. But hopefully you at home enjoy listening to this video yourself, because I'm trying a different microphone I just picked up. I've, as of late, kind of become a low-key microphone collector, because I picked up a couple different microphones the past few years. I don't plan on upgrading my audio setup and my main setup. It's a really good sounding setup, so I don't really want to change that out, but at the same time, I can appreciate audio. I got myself a Behringer XM8500 because this thing was on sale. Normally it's like a $30 microphone, which is already a really good price given the quality you're getting out of this mic, but I got it for 10 bucks. That's basically a steal. Like, this thing already at $30 has no excuse to be as good as it is. People swear by this thing in the budget realm because of its price. It's just so good for the cost. And then you tell me it's $10, like, wow. Either get a sandwich at your local Subway or get the XM8500. One of them is going to last you a lifetime. The other one, That'll be a pretty good tasting lunch. I'm gonna choose the XM8500 at this point. This is a really solid little microphone. I need things like this if I'm just kind of chilling back on a couch, for example, and just wanting to record with speakers, not always wear headphones. I usually wear headphones recording a bunch of stuff, but sometimes you just don't want to have headphones on, and this is one of those times. And I can easily just sit back with a nice dynamic microphone pointed close to my mouth, talking to it, blast my speakers, and you shouldn't hear a thing. That's what's nice about these styled mics. They reject everything around them. Like right now, you're probably not hearing it, but I'm snapping behind the mic. But lo and behold, you go in front of it, then you hear all the snaps. They're really good. There's a reason why you see this style of microphone always used in live setups, like, say, a concert, or if there's a bunch of people in a room for like a podcast, or all use this style kind of mic. You kind of need the rejection. I use a condenser mic in my main setup, the Audio-Technica H2020. But at that point, that setup is more designed for a mic like that. I made sure that I've treated the area as well as I can for audio so I can use a microphone like that there. Because that gives you a more natural sound, but at the same time, it picks up a lot more room noise. So you kind of don't want a lot of reverb or a lot of other sounds coming your way. So that space is treated for this. Other rooms in my house? Heck no, man, they're not treated. Give me this mic. Give me that XM8500. I gotta be careful here, because this is our last game. We got ourselves the Crack-On roller. Matt would be happy. So am I, though, because I like me some Crack-On. That's one of the reasons why. I'm gonna get out of here. And use my super fast, quick super jumps to get out as fast as possible and right back in. Easy as that. And thankfully, my super jumps are so fast, going back and forth between the base and then our teammate, it's basically instantaneous to get back into the game here, so that wasn't bad. Keep on inking up around us here. I do wish I had a little bit of some main save. If not that, then maybe something like a ninja squid would be great, but you can't get abilities like that in this kind of challenge, so you gotta deal with what you got. And that guy thought he was going to be safe from the Kraken. Oh, Kraken gets you. No, I hit the guy. Come on, try slosher. No. That's okay. We took out 3 of their 4 teammates, so I'm very happy with that kind of slaughterfest. Gotta be careful here, because I am kind of cornered. Don't want to stay here for too long. Got another Kraken on the field. Go, my E-leader friend. Cracking away. There's a vacuum. Wow, someone actually walked into the Kraken. That's unfortunate. Great for us, though. At this point, we're pushing them back in their base. That's great. We want to keep that up. That's okay. Keep on pushing them back in the base. And we can lose 1 team member by doing that. Use my super fast jumps, get back in. We need to put down more beacons, because we don't have that many beacons here. What was that, a blaster? No, the 96. I thought I had a blaster shot next to me, and I thought that's what killed me. Okay, that was the blaster I was expecting. Fortunately, I also took out my beacon, so I'm going to have to get back the manual way. By manual, I'm going to use teammate. Close enough to manual. Man, and they're all like swarming us, so now they're doing the exact thing we were just doing to them. It's the exact opposite. So at this point, 15 seconds left for them, or 15 points, I should say. We are done. This is our final game, and this is now a loss, because it's impossible to get back, barring a go and die moments. This map is very lockout heavy, so not surprised it went that way for both teams. I mean, mind you, this map got better during this current season of Splatoon that we're in, the Sizzle Season 2024, because they did widen the map a bit and add new areas to go to. It didn't fix the lockout problem, though. It's still very lockout heavy, but it's at least better than what it used to be. Alright, so let's see. Where do we stack up after playing our 5 games here? 1852. That's not bad. When I was playing this last night, I got like a 1990 by just playing with 3 wins and 2 losses, so that's not bad. Even though we didn't have as good of a streak as I had when I was playing this during the first rotation, it was 2 wins and 3 losses. It was still not bad given the weapons that we got. You know, Crack-On Roller, Explosher, Carbon Roller Deco, NZAP 85, and Squeezer. I've noticed, though, the Squeezer and Carbon Roller Deco were the 2 that got us the wins. Both of these are seen in a lot of competitive use. And then the NZAP also was seen a decent amount of competitive use, but that one didn't end up doing great. And then you get Explosher and Crack-On Roller, and these both make sense as to why I failed, because Explosher I never use, and it's really hard to use this without the right kind of build, so I get nothing but Sub-Saver. What a joke. Crack-On Roller also was a situation where the super jumps helped, but I needed some weapons on my team to take more advantage of me being a roller, and it was kind of a 50-50 on that one. Like, we had some good picks, but I can tell my custom E leader, they had a hard time using that, and that's where one of those weapons, maybe if that rolled to be a shooter or something, my teammate could have done better. That's the thing with these Sheldon randomized style challenges. It all depends on the weapon you're given in the randomizer for how good or bad that you do in Splatoon. And some people have a better time playing with certain types of weapons than others, so these are games, as you can see, with all of them being knockouts. These randomized challenges, they're fast games because they usually end in a knockout due to the randomized nature, but these are still really fun challenges. I enjoyed this said Gear Ability Shuffle Challenge. Hopefully you enjoyed watching this said video yourself, and if you have Splatoon 3, hopefully you had the chance to play this challenge. If not, hopefully it will show up in rotation at some point down the road so you can try this challenge, because this one is definitely worth your time if it's in rotation. I definitely recommend trying it out. But yeah, that's going to do it for today's little video. Nice little one-off, but again, it's been a while here since we last posted a video on the LPerLeague, and I know we put out a community post a few months back talking about some of the stuff behind the scenes of, hey, we're working on stuff, but things are going to be slow for a bit. I figured it'd also be good to, now that we're working on getting things ready for a good release here very soon for the next few weeks of just having videos coming out on a more constant basis again, I wanted to touch base with everyone here, let everyone know more of what's been happening, but also to just give you a sneak peek at some of the content to come your way here very soon on the LPerLeague. But that's going to do it for today's video. So with that said, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time.